Oh my gosh, I'm so stiff. I did a leg workout yesterday, and I'm not gonna lie, it's probably a little mistake because today I'm flying and I'm on a long flight, and obviously I'm gonna be sitting still, so it's just gonna feel very, very tense for a while. So welcome to today's practice. So the key areas we're gonna work on are the areas that tend to get minimal movement when you're sat in a chair for a long period of time. If you're in business class or first class, obviously it's slightly different for you and you'll have the benefit of being able to lie out. If you're not, the areas that get particularly closed off are the hip flexors and the lower back. And because you can't fully stretch out either, you're sort of always upright. So circulation is compromised a little bit as the blood pulls down at the bottom of your feet, and it's hard to push it back up for venous return. So what we want to do are hit those areas that are going to be a little bit neglected when we're sat in a chair for hours and hours and hours. The other thing that I want to cover here are the inner thighs, and it doesn't matter whether you're flying business or first or economy. The inner thighs, obviously, because you're sat with your legs closed together or lying down with your legs closed together, it's very difficult to target that. So we're going to open into that area, and we're also just going to do a little bit to try and get that venous return. I'll let the practice do the talking, but I just wanted to clear those things up. If you get a chance to do any sort of stretches on board or in between flights when you're at the airports, try to hit and target those areas that I've just mentioned as well if you don't have access to this video. Now, the other thing that I'm going to try and work on is breathing, because when you're on a flight, obviously, some people can experience nerves. I never thought that I was a nervous flyer, but interestingly enough, as soon as I get on the plane, all I want to do is eat all the food that I've brought or all the food that they give me. I just want to chow it down, and I get that urge. And it took me a while to realize that that was probably just because there was a sort of nervousness and I was trying to, I guess, distract myself. So I'm not a nervous flyer, but I have benefited a lot through breathing practices pre-flight and then even on the flight as well. So we're going to do a little bit of that. And that's the emphasis I want you to place with your awareness. That sentence didn't make sense. I want you to place your awareness or emphasize your awareness on the breath, if that makes sense. Now, yes, it does. Make sure that you really focus on the breath here. The postures that we're going to do, yes, of course, they're going to help you, but the key thing is how we affect your nervous system throughout this sequence so that when you get on the plane, you're nice and relaxed, you're nice and calm and focused. Okay, let's just get on with it. So come onto your back. This is a really gentle practice, by the way, but we will obviously do a little bit of activation work because, again, if you spend a lot of time sitting, obviously things are going to start to switch off, and so it's nice to get them switched on. Okay, so what I'm going to get you to do is bend your knees and just let the knees drop in together. So you've got a little bit of internal rotation at the hip here. Feet go out wide. If you're really tight in the IT band or any sort of muscles that are restricting internal rotation, you might find this very, very difficult. That's something to note for later, okay? Notice how easily you can come into internal rotation if your legs are being pulled out like that. Yeah, we want to work on that, but we'll do it another day, okay? So bringing the legs in together like this. And then you're going to take your arms up above your head, taking hold of either elbow, just letting the shoulders stretch out a little bit here like this. And just relaxing into it. Relax the face, the eyes. If your shoulders are too tight for this positioning, you can just take hold of either forearm, or maybe you can just sort of take a wrist and just relax here. Yeah, make sure you're not in any sort of over-exaggerated arch. And we'll just start to breathe, inhaling and exhaling. So keep your eyes closed, your face soft, shoulders relaxed. Notice the areas of tension in the body, but let's just really work on breathing deeply. And I want you to remember that just because one common misconception is that belly breathing is diaphragmatic breathing, and the truth is that you can raise your belly up and down and still not have your diaphragm move in a functional way or in an effective way. So it's not just about bringing the belly up and down, it's actually about trying to be expansive. So I actually want you to feel like your lower ribs expand outward, and then you fill up sort of like a balloon in the rib cage. But then just as importantly, as we exhale, I want your ribs to really deflate and compress in. So feel like you're sort of being crushed. That's not a very relaxing concept, but I want you to feel as though you're really breathing that breath out, 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 out. So the diaphragm can go back into its parachute position. So then when we come into the inhalation, you pull down. That's the diaphragm contracting to pull breath in, to change the air pressure in the lungs. So you take the breath in and exhale. Rib cage comes together, belly draws in, and that parachute reforms in your diaphragm. So I'm going to get you to visualize that, okay? On the exhalation, your diaphragm is in this positioning. As you inhale, it's contracted, so it turns into a flat sheet, and that pulls the oxygen into the lungs, yeah? And as you exhale, it relaxes and it comes back into that, air goes out. Okay, so closing your eyes, I want you to visualize that happening as you breathe in. So inhale, ribs really expand for you, that diaphragm contracts, flattens out. Keep breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, breathing in. Hold it for a second. And then open the mouth, exhale. Fully deflate the lungs. Inhale again. And exhale. This time in and out of the nose. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, take hands down to the thighs, hug the knees in towards your chest, give them a nice tight squeeze here, and just start to rock from side to side so you're massaging out through the lower back here. Keep the shoulders relaxed as you do it, keep the face nice and soft, and just at all times we're using the breath to help facilitate a little bit more relaxation here. Keep hold of the right leg, left leg extends down to the floor, take the knee out to the side, hug it in towards your armpit a little bit more here. Coming back to center with the leg, take hold of it just below the knee and let that leg be really dead. Pull the knee up towards the ceiling and just take it around in circles. So we're pulling it up and around, up and around. So my leg is completely dead, as you can see it flopping. And I'm just trying to create that space in the joint, yeah, which is gonna get a little bit compressed from no movement. Take it in the opposite direction. Good. And then from here, we'll bend the left knee, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, and use your right hand to push the knee away. So we're trying to create a little bit more space in this joint here. So just creating a bit more of an opening. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. From there, bring that knee back in towards the chest. Let the left leg extend again. Take the leg all the way across the body down to the floor. So we're going to come into a twist. Now, from here, let the knee come down. You're going to reach your arm forward. Take it forward all the way up and around. Exhaling into the twist. Belly pulls in. Release here. We come forward again, take the arm across the body, extend, reach. Sorry if my arm's cut out of the frame, but you get what I'm doing. Reach it all the way up. Notice my fingertips are tracing along the floor. This is the really important part here, okay? Because what I'm trying to do is feel like I'm reaching out of my hip to create that space between the ribs and the pelvis, opening into the chest. These sorts of positions, you just don't have the luxury. Even if you're in business or first, they're usually not big enough to do a position like this. So just really enjoy this space that you've got. Let's take it across, forward, up, inhale. Lengthen, 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 all the way out, open out. Exhale into this twist. Good. From here, bring that leg back into center. Hug it in towards your chest. Place it down onto the floor. Oh, I've lost my mic. Let's just put it back in my pants. Okay. So from there, knee hugs in. We're gonna hug the left knee in towards your chest, right foot is down. You're gonna drive your hips off the floor, belly in. Just wanna do a little bit of glute activation because those glutes are obviously gonna switch off, and we wanna just get them to wake up a little bit, yeah? So they're still awake, particularly if you have back problems. Sometimes if the glutes get too weak, for those of my hypermobility crew, if they switch off, if they get too weak, if they're not activated, that's when you can start to have real sacral issues as well, okay? So from here, let's lift, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just 10. Good. Hug that knee back into the chest, let it release all the way down to the floor. By activating it as well, you can also help to stretch and release it a little bit more. Flex the toes, grab around the front of the ankle with the right foot or right hand. If you can't grab the ankle, grab the shin with both hands. Maybe you can creep the fingertips to the outside of the foot, and we're coming into half happy baby pose here. So we're trying to really open up into the inner thigh, back of the leg, and you might feel a little bit of compression at the front of your hip. That's worth noting because that's an impingement. We don't want that, but we can work on creating more traction later. That's why I got you to do this one. Okay, so if you do feel that impingement, come back to this one, try and do a couple more circles, and then come back into it, see if that improves. Otherwise, take a breath in, pull down. Inhale. Exhale, pull the knee down. If you're having trouble holding it, just hold wherever you can and try to help that leg get in a little bit further, okay? Bring that knee back into the chest, and then we'll release it down to the floor. Interlace the fingers, arms reach up, stretch, inhale. Exhale, hug both knees in towards the chest, squeeze them in. Keep hold of the left leg, let the right leg extend down to the floor. Hug it into your armpit a little bit on that left side, and then from here, let's grab the leg and start to create that traction. Leg stays dead, we're pulling up towards the ceiling, creating space in the joint as much as possible. Yeah, space through here. Both sides. The concentration needs to be spent on keeping everything as relaxed as possible as you pull the knee up towards the ceiling. Hug it back into the chest from here. Cross the ankle over the thigh. Push the leg away, okay? Keep the toes flexed as well, particularly if you feel any sort of twinging in the knee. Protect it by activating your anterior tib. And from here, we're pushing away, creating even more space in that joint, okay? So when I push away, I'm pushing that way, but I'm also pushing up slightly. Take a deep breath in. Try not to bend too much through your lower back. Relaxing here. And then from there, we're coming into the twist. So take the leg across the body, down to the floor. Other leg is extended. Your arm, left arm comes across. Reach it all the way. Take it up. And this is what we want to do. We want to get that length, lengthening through here. This side body, open it up. Keep that length, keep that length. Relax into it. Opening into the chest. Relax your stomach, your inner thighs. Let's go again. So forward. Inhaling up. Fingertips on the floor, stretch away from the pelvis, exhale, into the twist. Forward, up, and around. Good, bring it back to center, hug the knee back into the chest. Good, from there, place the foot onto the floor. Let's activate it a little bit. So hug the knee into the right knee into your chest. Left leg is down. We're gonna lift the hips. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, belly flat, 3, 2, and 1. Release the leg down, hug the knee into the chest. Let's go for that half happy baby. So grabbing around the ankle, maybe just starting to work the leg in as close as you can. Otherwise, grabbing around the outer edge of the foot. Your other leg is going down, so you can see how much space I'm creating. And I'm not just getting a stretch for this left side, I'm also trying to create a little bit of opening through the front of the right side. So really kicking through that heel here, breathing in, breathing out. Relax the shoulders. Good.
I'm not sure what went wrong.
That was Alexa. We'll just leave her and release. Go all the way down. Come to interlace your fingers, extend your arms up above your head. Alexa, shut up. Good. Point your toes. Reach up, inhale, and then exhale, hug both knees in towards the chest. Squeeze the knees all the way in. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. Okay, rock from side to side again. Notice how you're feeling in the legs and the body. Remember, key thing here is not so much the postures, but actually the state of mind and your breath, okay? From here, let's rock it up. Okay, so let's come into a child's pose position. We're not going to stay here too long actually, because again, I don't want to compress your hips, I want to open them up. But take the knees nice and wide because this will hit your inner thighs. Push the hips to the heels and let your arms extend forward, let the head drop down. Take a deep breath in and exhale, soften into this one, but try to create that length. The whole time what we want to do is continue to create space between the rib cage and the pelvis. Okay, because that's obviously going to start to get slouchy and compressed. So the more space that we can create, the more circulation we get, better blood flow through digestive areas as well. Breathing in, breathing out. Walk your hands around to the right. And as you do, reach that left arm out of the left side of your hips. So we're trying to get a stretch all the way down the side body here. Come back to center. Take it to the other side. So reaching out, try to keep the hips close to the heels, stretch it out. And then come back to center. From here, come into an all fours position onto the hands and knees. We're gonna hit that thoracic a little bit. So take the left hand to the back of the head, take a breath in, lower the elbow down towards that right side, and as you exhale, push into the right hand, lift up, opening out. Inhale, come down. Exhale, open up. Inhale. Exhale. Now the trick is not to let your hips move too much over to the side. So you want to try and keep those hips moving to the right as you open up. Yeah, you'll really feel it. Inhale, come down. Exhale, open it up. You'll feel that blockage. Now this time, you're going to take your left hand and you're going to thread it through the right side. Turn your head to the right. And from here, we'll take the right fingertips down to the floor and just push yourself into the twist. Now, notice your hips are going to push over to the right side. I want you to push into the knees and get the hips to correct. So now we feel the stretch all the way through the back here. Yeah, right through into the back of the shoulders, particularly on that left side. So try and keep those hips square. Breathing in and exhale. Place that palm back onto the floor. Inhale, take the arm up towards the ceiling, and then we'll release it down. Okay, so right hand to the back of the head. Inhale, elbow comes down. Exhale, twist open. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, notice the pelvis. Exhale, arm up, thread through. So my pelvis is naturally now going to move over to the left. I'm going to push into my left fingertips to help facilitate the twist, but at the same time, I'm also going to push my hips over to the right to also help facilitate the twist. And if you're doing it right, you'll struggle to talk. Breathe. Okay, come back up. Take that same arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, take it down to the floor. From here, we're going to take downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the knees off, belly pulls in. Please pull your ribs in. Straight leg or bent leg down dog, I don't mind either way. Shake out your head yes and no. Please keep the ribs in. I know I've said it twice. But we want to make sure that that diaphragm is not compromised in any way. Let's walk out through the heels, open up through the back of the legs as you continue to shake out your head. Remember, breath is key. We're going to take a little bit of vinyasa to promote that blood flow. So inhale, come forward into a push-up position, tuck the tailbone and squeeze the glutes. Let's find that hollow body. Yeah, so this is really healthy because again, you're not going to get to do much of this sort of position. So we want to activate this area. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, if you need to lower your knees, go ahead. Coming down, elbows shape the sides of the body, chaturanga.
Release the tops of the feet. Inhale, cobra positioning. Take the hands off and just feel your belly pull in, your glutes squeeze, pubic bone presses into the floor, lifting off. Keep that position, hands come down. If you'd like to take it up dog, knees, hips, and thighs come off the floor, stretching through the front of the hips. Exhale, curl in, downward facing dog. Let's go through that breath sequence again. I want it to really flow. So inhale, high push-up. Exhale, core tight, squeeze the glutes lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. 2 more like that, but this time with the eyes closed. Inhale, round forward. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale back. This time I'm not going to say anything. Do it in your own time, your own breath. We'll meet back in down dog. From your downward facing dog position, I'm gonna get you to lift the right leg up high. And as you lift it, open the hip, keep the ribs in, bend the knee. And try to push the foot that little bit further back behind you so that you can open through the front of the right side. Now as you do this, watch the inner arches on the left foot. Don't let them sink so that your left leg internally rotates. Try to keep external rotation of that leg by lifting your inner arches. Yeah, that'll affect everything. And keep pushing open. From here, extend the leg back up, swing it forward. We're gonna come into pigeon pose on that right side, dropping the back leg down behind you. Now, you guys know I love an active pigeon, so we're gonna lift up and hold it here for a second, okay? Really try to get that back leg as far back as you possibly can. Belly pulls in here. Take the hands off. Interlace the fingers behind your back, hug the shoulder blades in together so we open up through the chest. Now, keep your legs strong. Breathe in, drop down. Exhale, come up. Inhale, down. Exhale, come up. Inhale, come down. Exhale, come up. Take the hands down behind you. From here, you're gonna try to bend that back leg. Reach the left arm around, grab hold of your foot. If you can't grab it, use a towel or a yoga strap to try and hook on the foot so that you can just pull the towel forward or back. Yeah, in this case, forward. Okay, towards you. So we're gonna start to pull the heel in. Now, I can pull it right in, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but please don't feel like you have to make the shape that I'm making. If you have the flexibility, go ahead and do that. This is a good pose before because obviously this is really open through the front of my body, an area that is not gonna get stretched when I'm sat on a long haul flight. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is push down slightly onto the ankle, and at the same time, I'm gonna do a little bit of P&F here. So as I push down, I'm gonna resist by trying to kick my foot back that way. So we'll do it on the inhale. Inhale, exhale, I stop resisting. Inhale, exhale, stop resisting. Inhale, exhale, I stop resisting. I'm gonna extend forward, drop the head down. Release the leg, take the hands down. From here, push back, downward facing dog. Taking the vinyasa, inhale, high push-up. Exhale, down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Stretching through the front of the hips. This is delicious on your hip flexors. Keep your glutes squeezed to protect your back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Make sure that mic doesn't fall out. It's done it like 50 times during this sequence. Left leg is gonna go up. I'm gonna open the hip and bend the knee. Okay, now inner arches of that right foot. If I drop it in, you'll notice my knee comes down like that. So I wanna keep it open as I try to push that hip into opening. Keep the ribs in, belly in, try to square off the shoulders as you push back. You really have to use your glute to do it. And then from there, pigeon left side. Now, don't go into anything too crazy in your pigeon. As I always preach to you guys, we only ever want to go as deep as we have the strength to maintain. I'm going to come face this way, okay, so that you can see what I'm doing a little bit more. So from here, interlace the fingers behind the back, lift up through the chest, breathe in, lower down, exhale, come back up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. One more time, inhale and exhale up. Good, from here, fingertips to the floor, keeping the chest lifted, back leg bends. Reaching around with that same hand, right hand. I'm gonna grab hold, start to pull the heel in. Listen to the feedback from your body. Let's take this out so I'm not distracted by it. Okay, so on this side, there's no way that I can go as deep, so I'm not necessarily gonna try and yank my body into that. Inhale, pull away. Exhale, contract. Inhale, pull away. Exhale. Inhale, resist. Exhale, relax. Good, from here, I'm gonna come down. Forward to the floor, let it release through that front and back. And then releasing from here, back into downward facing dog. Taking the vinyasa. Easier if I leave it on the floor. Walk out through the heels, you ready? Inhale, come forward, high push up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And then exhale, knees down, child's pose. So feet together, push the hips to the heels, let your head drop down. Okay, coming up, what I'd like to do now is work on the inner thighs. So just shift the weight over to one side, bring the legs around in front. And from here, we'll actually go with the left leg forward, right heel in, but I'm actually gonna turn side on here, okay? So open up your hips and extend that leg out to this side. From here, your left hand is gonna come to the right thigh. The right arm is gonna come up. We're taking it up and over. I want you to try and stay open as much as possible, so really flat to the front. Of course, you'll go deeper if you twist your body, and you will feel a stretch in a good place, but I want you to stay open so we hit this whole side line here. Opening into it, and using leverage here with your forearm or by pushing your hand down. Let it come down, come back up. Inhale, we'll go up and over. Down. Forward, up and over. Down, twist. Last one. Up and over. Release. From here, we're gonna take the hand behind us. You're gonna adjust so that you close off the legs slightly. Lift up onto the shin, yeah? And from here, you're reaching that left arm back behind you. So now we hit this side of the body, okay? The left side. So my right knee is down, it's supporting me, my right hand is down. Left arm reaches up and back, and I want you to really feel there's this sort of grounding through the left foot to help you yield away from the earth a little bit so you feel that stretch, and then we come down. So can we do that on the other side? I'm gonna face the back so that you can see what's going on. So right leg extends forward, my hips are open. From here, right hand comes to the left thigh. We go up, inhale, and over. I'm gonna have to move my mic. So let's go up and over. Keep it open as you can, and then exhale, tip, come back up. So we go up, open, and drop. Inhale up, and over. Last one up. Keep it open, guys. Do not, even if you can only go this far, this is where you should be. Don't feel like you have to match exactly everything that I'm doing. You should still feel the stretch. Come down from here. Left hand comes behind you. Right arm extends also behind you. Lift up, adjust the leg. Okay, fell off onto the ground and turned off. So we're gonna do that move again. So from here, you're gonna take the left hand behind you, yeah? And then the right arm is gonna extend up towards the ceiling. Push, Lift, lengthen. Sometimes you need to adjust that left leg so that it comes down a little bit and you're reaching up and back. So you should be feeling a stretch through the right side of the body here. Lengthen and then come down, releasing all the way. Okay, from here, come back to a seated position, bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees rest out wide. And from here, we're just gonna grab hold at the tops of the feet. Inhale, lengthen forward. And as you exhale, tuck the chin into the chest and begin to roll down. Lengthen the head forward, inhale, come up. Exhale, chin in, round down. So you'll notice I'm doing this weird kind of body roll. And then exhale, come down, pull in. Inhale, and exhale. Good. From there, lift all the way back up. Take the hands behind you, feet flat to the floor, lifting through the chest. Hands come behind you, fingers point forward, lift up through the chest, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lift everything off. Squeeze the glutes, lift the hips, stretching through the front of the shoulders. Inhale, come down. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, come down. Exhale, come up. Let your hips come all the way down to the floor. From here, let yourself roll onto your back. Lift the hips off the floor, take the hands underneath the hips. And then from there, just let your legs extend up towards the ceiling, Viparita Karani, or a variation of it. Legs up the wall. We don't have a wall, so we're just gonna extend the legs up. If you do have a wall nearby, or you have a couch, let your legs extend all the way up, and we just get a little bit of that Venus return. We're encouraging it to come back down. Keep the chin tucked in, shoulders nice and relaxed. Keep the head straight. This is a nice restorative position. If you'd like to take shoulder stand, go ahead and do it. I'm not going to encourage it in this particular sequence. I'm only going to say do it if you know your body. The reason being is that it's a lot of strain on the neck, and I'd rather workshop it in one of my videos than to just kind of have you swing up into it. Yeah, but obviously if you have a strong practice and you know what you're doing, swing your body up, come into shoulder stand. Okay, just to really allow. For those of you that don't know what it is, it looks like this. Yeah, with the legs extended. But you can see that it's a lot of pressure on the cervical spine. So if you've never done it before, even if you think, you know, you've done it before when you were a kid or something like that, please don't just start now, because it can put a lot of strain on the neck. If you're in shoulder stand, work through your different variations, legs overhead, ear closing, and then come down after you've done 5 breaths in each of those. If you're menstruating, you also want to resist that. You want to just take it into this position here that we've been doing. Take a deep breath in, full breath out. Those of you in shoulder stand, make your way down, coming into this position. And then from here, we'll take fish pose. So what I would like you to do is place your feet on the floor, lift your hips, work your hands underneath you a little bit more, palms down so your thumbs are together. Work the elbows in together as well. We're gonna open up this sort of throat area, this front area, whole front of the body really. Point the toes, extend your legs. Now from here, I'm gonna pull myself up so that I can lift up, and then from there, drop the head back. If it's okay in your neck, go ahead and do it. Keep the toes pointing, so really lifting up here. Belly pulls in. And then slowly let your head come down, rolling the spine right down. Lift the hips, release. Soles of the feet together, knees go out wide. Lift and tuck the tailbone. Take the arms up above the head, take hold of either elbow here. If it's too much on your shoulders, of course, you can just take hold of the wrist, closing your eyes. Take a deep breath in for 4 seconds. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. We're gonna try and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. This time for 8. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Keep your eyes closed. You can continue that breath sequence 2 by 1 breathing, so where your exhalation is twice as long as the inhalation, and this is really good for calming the nervous system. Okay, so this will bring you right down. This is a practice that free divers actually use in order to slow their heart rate down. Yogis use it the same to slow the heart rate down, bring a lot of chill basically to the brain and nervous system. So if you are feeling a little bit nervous before your flight, I highly encourage taking that breath practice. Take the hands down to the thighs and bring the knees in together. Carry them in. Hug them in towards your chest. Place the feet on the floor. Take the feet out wide. Let the knees drop in. A little bit of internal rotation for the hips. Take your hands down to your thighs. Try to push your thighs away from you. So you're trying to almost push the femurs a little bit out of the sockets. Okay, to create that space. You'll notice my lower back lifts off the floor, and what I'm trying to do is let the lower back come back down as I push away. So I'm creating space there. And then hug the knees into the chest, squeeze the knees all the way in. From here, we'll rock all the way up to a seated position. So what I would encourage you to do is actually to continue a little bit of breathing on your mat before you get off and get onto the flight, or let's say you're already at the airport and you're waiting to board, and maybe you don't have the space or you don't have the courage. Don't worry, I don't have the courage either to kind of just bust out some yoga right in the gate area. Then sit on the chair on the edge of it and just work on that 2 by 1 breathing. So inhaling for 4 seconds and aiming to exhale for 8. If that feels too long or you start to feel your heart rate rise, you need to shorten the breath sequence. So inhaling for 3, exhaling for 6, or inhaling for 2, exhaling for 4. But you always want your exhalation to be twice as long as your inhalation. That's going to really help to calm you right down. Okay, let's close the eyes. Take the shoulders out towards the ears. Inhale, take them down and back. Exhale. Inhale, take them up. Exhale, take them down and back. Thank you so much for practicing today. Well done, everyone. Namaste, and I hope you have a safe flight, and I'll see you on the other side.